Welcome, you're watching V News Daily. Coming up are today's headlines.
Armenia's president begins his visit to Vietnam. Vietnam shares experiences in employment at the International Labour Conference. Petrol prices decrease following a fall in the world market.
Armenia's President Serge Sargsyan arrived in Hanoi on June 8th at the start of his two-day official visit to Vietnam at the invitation of President Trương Tấn Sang.
President Sargsyan's visit takes place as both countries have seen several positive developments in their traditional friendship and coincides with the 20th anniversary of Vietnamese-Armenian diplomatic ties. In the past, Vietnam and Armenia have always enjoyed a fine political relationship, exchanging delegations at every level. Both countries liaise regularly and support each other at international forums. However, despite these developments, the level of trade between both countries has not yet matched its true potential. After the welcoming ceremony, President Sang held talks with his Armenian counterpart, commending him for visiting. He said that it marks a new phase in the traditional friendship between both countries. He informed his guest of Vietnam's socio-economic situation and foreign policy, as well as the achievements the country has recorded during its renewal process. President Sargsyan was extremely pleased to hear of Vietnam's impressive achievements and believed that with its current policies, the country will overcome its temporary economic difficulties and continue to be an attractive destination for foreign investors. Both presidents also discussed regional and international issues of common concern and agreed to strengthen cooperation in fields that they are strong in.
The Vice Minister of Labour, Invalids and Social Affairs, Doãn Mậu Diệp, is leading Vietnam's delegation to the International Labour Conference in Geneva.
Employment has always been at the top of Vietnam's agenda, said Diệp to more than 5,000 delegates from 185 International Labour Organization member countries, where unemployment is one of the main topics up for discussion. Diệp said, as in other countries, the global economic downturn has resulted in higher levels of unemployment in Vietnam, particularly amongst young people. He added that to confront this, Vietnam has adopted a national youth development strategy to develop a high-quality young workforce to meet socio-economic development demands, generating jobs, increasing the quality of education, relevant training courses, business startup skills, improving vocational guidance and revamping the network of job centres are the strategy's key objectives. According to the International Labour Organization, the world is facing a deepening youth employment crisis, as young people are 3 times more likely to be unemployed than adults, and over 75 million young people worldwide are looking for work.
On June 7, the World Bank held an online seminar on strengthening the connection between social sponsorship, disaster risk management, and adaptation to climate change.
Taking part were representatives from 11 countries in East Asia and the Pacific region. The consensus was that East Asia and the Pacific are one of the regions in the world to be the hardest hit by natural disaster and climate change, and that poor people are the most vulnerable in these circumstances. They emphasized on the need to increase the level of support for these people to enable them to deal with the impacts of natural calamities and climate change. The delegates also stressed the importance of integrating disaster risk management, climate change adaptation, and social sponsorship, as currently many poor households either have no access to the kind of assistance they so desperately need or simply fall through the net. The World Bank vowed to provide more assistance for regional countries by putting together a package of disaster management tools and procedures.
The 4th Vietnam Marine Trademark Forum took place in the southern coastal province of Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu on June 7th. The forum aimed to seek ways to boost the economic potential of the country's sea and islands in a sustainable manner.
themed economic potential and the ecological environment of Vietnamese islands. The forum attracted representatives from related central agencies and 28 coastal cities and provinces nationwide. The participants discussed a wide range of issues, including building up marine trademarks, ways of successfully implementing the national marine strategy, making full use of the country's maritime advantages to develop a seaborne economy, tourism and climate change. The forum is a chance for managers, scientists, local officials, domestic and international organizations, and businesses to share information and experience to combine the development of the sea and islands' economic strengths with protecting the ecosystem and the environment in general. The forum also aimed at raising awareness of the important role that the sea and islands play in the cause of national construction and defense.
The retail price of petrol was slashed by 800 Vietnamese dong to 21,900 Vietnamese dong per liter on June 7th. The Ministry of Finance said the price was cut at a time when the world's prices of petrol and gasoline continuously fell in recent times.
The prices of diesel and gasoline were also cut by between 600 and 650 Vietnam dongs per liter. This is the third petrol price reduction after prices were raised twice in March and April, with a total increase of up to 3,000 Vietnam dongs per liter. The first and second petrol price reductions were 500 Vietnam dongs and 600 Vietnam dongs in May. The Ministry of Finance said the reduction is aimed to ensure the right and interests of the consumers, the state and enterprises as well.
Vietnam's rice exports in May enjoyed a year-on-year increase of 12%, the highest rate since January 2010, according to the Ministry of Industry and Trade.
In May, Vietnam shipped more than 788,000 tons of rice, raising the total volume of rice exported in the first 5 months of the year to 2.5 million tons. With such sharp increases in the amount of rice being exported in the last 2 months, the country's target of exporting 6.5 million tons of rice this year should be reachable. However, the average price of Vietnamese rice for export has fallen continuously throughout the first few months of the year. In an effort to create a top-quality Vietnamese rice trademark, the government has called on farmers to raise the proportion of high-grade rice to 60 and 70% of their total output.
The Vietnamese architectural exhibition opened in Ho Chi Minh City on June 7th, highlighting the use of environmentally friendly and energy-saving technologies and green, light, recycled materials in the designs.
The event, themed Green Architecture, is jointly held by the Vietnam Association of Architects and Ho Chi Minh City's Association of Architects. The 4-day event boasts 300 stands divided into different sections, including materials and technology, interior decor and living space, a section of the city's Young Entrepreneurs Association, students' inventions and businesses from the U.S. A series of seminars on architecture and technologies will also be held to supply information on green projects and materials, especially seminars on the role of architects and on green architecture. The organizing board said the exhibition is expected to create a firm foundation for the sustainable development of Vietnamese architecture.
And those are all for today. Thanks for tuning in.